Well, turning to South Africa now, and there have been violent clashes outside the ruling African National Congress headquarters in Johannesburg. This is as the party's leadership discusses President Jacob Zuma's political future. Now, pressure is mounting on him to resign. Zuma's position has weakened since he was replaced as ANC leader by his deputy president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Zuma is rejecting calls that he quit before his term ends next year, saying it will cost the ANC at the polls. The party's so-called top six leadership team met over the weekend to discuss Zuma's fate. No word yet on what was decided. Ramaphosa has been lobbying for Zuma's removal. Zuma is expected to face a fresh vote of no confidence in Parliament on February 22nd. Remember, he has survived several such votes in the past, thanks to loyal support inside the ANC. But Zuma's popularity in the party is waning, and several of his allies have deserted him. Now, for more on the debate over Zuma's future, I'm joined live via Skype by political analyst Zwelethwa Jalobe. He is in Cape Town, South Africa, and joins us now. Zwelethwa, a very, very good evening to you. Why does Jacob Zuma need to go, and why does he need to go now?
Good evening. Well, that answer is quite simple, and that is that a lot of the issues that the ANC faces are largely in part to do with all the scandal around him, and that the ANC's own internal research in fact revealed that the reason why they lost Pretoria, Johannesburg and Port Elizabeth in our elections 2 years ago was in part to do with general voter dissatisfaction, in particular with the issues around Mr. Zuma. And so I think that why the insistence that he goes now, that has to do with the fact that the ANC now has a new team, and their main priority is to try to regain the lost ground that they lost in the locally elections. And I think that in terms of how they're seeing it, is that Mr. Zuma leaving now, even though that won't solve the problem, is one step towards trying to regain some kind of legitimacy in the face of a declining ANC. And so this has to do, to a large extent, with how the ANC prepares for our next general election, and less about whether or not Mr. Zuma is innocent or is guilty or is complicit. It has to do with the kind of general negative narrative that has hurt the ANC at the polls.
Now, I'm sure you have been reading the tea leaves. We don't have a lot of time, so if you can very briefly tell us, what is your prediction? Is Jacob Zuma going to survive through the end of this week, or does he still have a chance to stay in it?
The only way that Mr. Zuma will leave is if there will be something of benefit to him, firstly, or two, if he is forced out legally, that is using the kind of formal parliamentary procedure. As of now, we know that a debate on a motion of no confidence is set for the 22nd of February. And at the moment, all our evidence points to the fact that most members of his own party in Parliament would support such a motion.
And that's going to be an interesting week there in South Africa indeed. Zwelethwa Jalobe, a political analyst from the University of Cape Town, speaking to us there via Skype from Cape Town. Thank you so much for your time.